Drake and J. Cole are done. The internet just uncovered something absolutely insane. A secret album with Kendrick they got buried on purpose. 4 songs, 2 years of lies, and Kendrick Lamar saw the whole betrayal coming before anyone else did. This changes everything we thought we knew about the so-called Big Three.
Everybody thought the Big Three was solid. 3 kings sharing the throne, respecting each other's lanes, keeping hip-hop alive together. That Grammy photo where they all smiled, we ate that up. We believed the unity. But new studio leaks just surfaced. Timestamp files from 2019 all the way to 2023, showing J. Cole was secretly hoarding Kendrick Lamar verses like they were gold bars, waiting for some perfect moment that never came. Then Drake slid into the picture with private jet invites and strategic photo ops. Suddenly, Cole's neutrality started looking like an alliance. Kendrick peeped the whole game, walked away with the crown, and left them scrambling. Tonight, we're breaking down every receipt. TMZ dropped a 22-second audio clip 2 days ago that has the entire internet spinning right now. Inside a Burbank recording studio, 2:43 in the morning, June 2022, you hear J. Cole laughing in the background, then a voice that is unmistakably Kendrick's cadence, saying, "Don't waste my verse on a placeholder, bro." The beat cuts off, you hear a door slam, that's it. 22 seconds that flipped the whole narrative. Fans immediately ripped that audio file apart. They ran it through Antares vocal matching software, the kind producers use to detect pitch and formant frequencies. Results came back showing a 78% formant overlap with Kendrick's verified 2017 damn recording sessions. That's not a ghost, that's a fingerprint. That's Kendrick Lamar's voice in that studio, frustrated, walking out. But it gets even crazier. Reddit detectives started digging deeper, scraping metadata off a now-deleted SoundCloud upload that was labeled falloff_ref.3.mp3. Embedded in that file was a producer tag, Cardo Got Wings. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Cardo only produces for 2 artists in the industry, Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Nobody else gets access to his beats like that. The track length on that file? 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Same exact BPM as the scrapped sequel to Drake's Pipe Down. Coincidence in this economy? Absolutely not. And listen to this. Fans started cross-referencing Instagram stories from March 2023. Drake posted a story wearing an Applying Pressure hoodie, which is Dreamville's brand, his Dreamville merch line. The geo tab on that story, Larrabee Studios in Santa Monica. Guess who was 3 miles away at the exact same hour? Kendrick Lamar. He got caught on camera during a random no-jumper street interview talking about staying independent and keeping his circle tight. They were in the same area, same time, but never posted a single group photo together. That's not them being low-key, that's them being covert. That's intentional distance. Now here's where it gets even more damning. Publishing logs got leaked by a Warner Music intern who reportedly got fired 2 weeks later. Those logs showed 4 songs registered under the working titles with features listed as jcole.feature.k.lamar. 4 full collaborations, registered, ready to go. But here's the kicker. All 4 of those song titles got quietly removed from the system on October 27, 2023. That's exactly 48 hours after Kendrick Lamar dropped his verse on Future and Metro Boomin's Like That, where he basically said there is no Big Three, it's just him. The timeline is a horror movie if you read it backwards. Cole and Drake had those songs ready, Kendrick torched the entire concept publicly, and within 2 days, all evidence of those collaborations disappeared from official records. Fans online been working like full-blown investigators on this. They're comparing voice patterns, analyzing background noise and leaked clips, zooming into reflections on studio glass to see who else was in the room. One TikTok user even claimed they spotted a Dreamville notebook in the corner of a producer's Instagram live stream with the words Big 3 LP written on the cover. That video got deleted within an hour, but screenshots are forever. People screen recorded, backed it up, posted it everywhere. The internet never forgets, and right now, the internet is convinced that J. Cole tried to play both sides, got caught, and Kendrick walked away before the whole thing exploded in his face.
Now let's talk about the motive, because every betrayal has a ledger behind it. J. Cole's Dreamville Festival lost $2.3 million in 2022. Weather issues, insurance gaps, and streaming numbers that looked anemic compared to Rolling Loud and Coachella. That's a massive financial hit for someone whose whole brand is built on staying independent and conscious. Meanwhile, Drake is still pulling in $1 million per night on his tour stops, still breaking Apple Music records every single Friday, still getting brand deals that most artists could only dream about. And Kendrick? He won a Pulitzer Prize. He headlined the Super Bowl halftime show. He's getting Disney and Amazon checks while still being considered the most lyrical rapper alive. He diversified out of rap while staying completely dominant in it. That kind of gap hits different when you built your career on the idea of equality and staying grounded. Put yourself in J. Cole's shoes for a second. You're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Your peers are skyscrapers in New York and LA. You're a brownstone. Respected, sure, but not towering, not untouchable. So what do? You reach for the cheat code. You start planning the mythical collaboration album that would crash the entire stock market of hip-hop. You start hoarding verses from Kendrick first because his name brings authenticity and credibility. Then you dangle the same carrot in front of Drake. Arenas, memes, global streaming dominance, a three-headed monster that would erase every other contender from the conversation. But monsters eat their own, and this is where it all fell apart. Industry insiders are saying the real split came down to publishing splits. Drake reportedly wanted 50% ownership on every joint track simply because of his value of presence. Just his name on a song in his mind justified half the royalties. Kendrick allegedly laughed at that proposal and told him, "Pay me like you pay The Weeknd. Feature rate or we breathe easy and go our separate ways." J. Cole tried to mediate, tried to find a middle ground, but mediation becomes alignment when your wallet is hemorrhaging and you need that project to succeed more than anyone else does. Kendrick saw the writing on the wall. He saw Cole leaning toward Drake's side because Cole needed the commercial boost more than he needed artistic integrity in that moment. So Kendrick walked. No group chat goodbye, no public statements, just cold silence. Until the synths on Futures Like That detonated, and Kendrick said out loud what everyone was too scared to admit. There is no big three. It's just Big Me. That wasn't a diss track. That was an invoice for disrespect. That was Kendrick collecting payment for every time someone tried to put him in a box with two artists who operate nothing like him. He doesn't move like Drake. He doesn't move like Cole. He moves like a strategist who saw the betrayal coming from 3 years away and decided to let them bury themselves while he built a legacy that doesn't need features or alliances to stand tall. Think about the optics for a second. Dreamville Festival struggling financially, J. Cole trying to engineer a comeback project, Drake trying to align himself with Kendrick's credibility because his own reputation has been slipping with younger audiences who see him as too pop, too soft, too calculated. And Kendrick? Unbothered, dropping one verse that flipped the entire narrative and walked away. That's not luck, that's preparation meeting opportunity. That's someone who knew the game before the dice even rolled. And it gets worse for J. Cole and Drake. After Like That dropped, both of them tried to respond. Cole dropped 7-Minute Drill, came at Kendrick directly, then apologized 2 days later and pulled the song from streaming platforms. That's unprecedented. You don't fire shots at Kendrick Lamar and then apologize unless you realize you just made the worst mistake of your career. Drake took a different approach. He dropped 2 diss tracks, Push-Ups and Tailor-Made Freestyle, trying to drag Kendrick into a battle. Kendrick waited, stayed silent, then dropped Euphoria and Not Like Us back-to-back and ended the entire conversation. No apology needed, no retreat, just complete dominance.
Here's the part that really hits different, because this isn't just about ego or chart positions. This is about art that got buried under millionaire tantrums. Those 4 lost songs that got scrapped, one of them was reportedly called Breadwinner's Son. The hook was supposed to be sung by a 9-year-old girl, J. Cole's niece, recorded through a makeshift sock filter mic so her voice would crack just right, raw and unpolished. She's humming about free lunch tickets and secondhand school uniforms while Kendrick raps about Section 8 housing receipts and growing up with roaches in the kitchen. That track will never hit Spotify. It will never get heard by the millions of people who needed to feel seen by those lyrics. Imagine being that little girl 20 years from now, scrolling through old internet archives, watching YouTube deep dives about lost hip-hop projects, and stumbling across your own voice in a leaked demo snippet. Imagine wondering why your lullaby got buried under millionaire egos and publishing disputes you had nothing to do with. That's somebody's niece.
That's somebody's daughter, and she's carrying a piece of trauma she didn't ask for because 3 grown men couldn't divide a pie they hadn't even baked yet. And it's not just her. Think about the producers who mortgaged their houses for a chance to place a beat on what was supposed to be the biggest hip-hop album of the decade. Producers who turned down other placements, other opportunities, because they believed in this project. Cardo tweeted and then deleted within minutes, "Some beats only get to live once." That's not melodrama. That's a cemetery of creativity. That's years of work gathering dust in hard drives because the artists couldn't get their business right. Fans feel it too. Scroll through the comment sections on any video about this situation and you'll see hundreds of people saying, "I needed that project to survive 2024. That's not exaggeration. People attach their emotions, their struggles, their hope to music. And when that music gets weaponized as a business tool and then discarded, the audience scars too. Artists bleed in the studio. Fans bleed in the comment sections. And the only people who walk away clean are the lawyers who drafted the contracts that allowed this mess to happen in the first place.
Let's roll the second reel of evidence, because the paper trail in this situation is absolutely obese. A Snapchat memory posted and quickly deleted by engineer Mixed by Ali showed a whiteboard track list inside a studio session. You could clearly see 4 song titles written in blue dry erase marker: Breadwinner Son, 90 Proof Regrets, Mirrors and Smoke, and Glory Hole, which was apparently the joke title they used before finalizing the real name. Each song title had initials scribbled beside them. K for Kendrick listed first, D for Drake listed second, and here's the detail that sent fans into a frenzy. There was no C in sight, no J. Cole initial anywhere on that board. Fans immediately overlaid that whiteboard image with known samples of J. Cole's handwriting from old interviews and behind-the-scenes documentaries. Zero match. The handwriting didn't belong to Cole. Translation: J. Cole was outsourcing his own collaboration project to the very 2 artists he was trying to stand beside as an equal. That's not strategy. That's self-induced eclipse. That's stepping aside and letting the stars you invited take over the entire sky while you fade into the background. Jump forward to October 2023. Drake's official DJ, DJ Spade, posted a cryptic Instagram story at exactly 11:07 p.m. 2 emojis, an owl, which is Drake's OVO brand symbol, and a broken heart. That's it. No caption, no explanation. Then at midnight, Kendrick's verse Unlike That drops and the entire internet explodes. 1 hour and 7 minutes later, DJ Spade's story with those 2 emojis vanishes, deleted, gone. Coincidence? Algorithms don't believe in horoscopes, and neither do fans. That was a direct reaction. That was someone in Drake's inner circle signaling that something just broke. Then came the publishing purge. BMI, one of the largest music rights organizations in the world, quietly deleted those 4 song registrations overnight. No press release, no explanation. Just gone from the system like they never existed. But the internet is a jealous ex-girlfriend with unlimited cloud storage. Screenshots of those registrations nested themselves in Discord servers, Reddit threads, and Twitter archives faster than any lawyer could send cease and desist letters. People backed up the backups. They turned those registrations into PDFs, into image files, into blockchain receipts that can never be fully erased. Now here's the microscopic detail that actually sells this entire theory and makes it feel like a calculated setup. The key signatures. 90 Proof Regrets was logged in the BMI system as being composed in A-flat minor. That's Kendrick Lamar's favorite emotional key signature. He's used A-flat minor in songs like You, Fear, and Mother I Sober. It's his sonic fingerprint for vulnerability. Yet the leaked demo snippet that J. Cole accidentally played for 3 seconds on a Twitch stream, that snippet was in C minor. Somebody transposed the entire instrumental after the fact so that Kendrick's vocals could slide into the track like a ghost in a brand new shell. That's not collaboration. That's surgical manipulation. That's taking someone's art and retrofitting it into your vision without their real consent. And Kendrick caught the incision on camera. There's also the issue of lyric leaks. A line that allegedly came from one of the scrapped songs showed up on a random SoundCloud rapper's Lucy track 2 months ago. The line goes, "They want my name on this shit, but not my pain in they pitch."
Fans immediately reverse searched that bar, found no prior usage anywhere in rap history, and started connecting it back to Kendrick. That's not a recycled punchline. That's a breadcrumb. That's Kendrick possibly leaking his own unused material to let people know what got left in the vault while Cole and Drake moved forward without him. And if you want to talk about visual evidence, there's footage from a Dreamville studio session in late 2022 where you can see a sticky note on the mixing board that says K-Verse, handle with care. Fans zoomed in on that sticky note, enhanced the image, cross-referenced the handwriting again, and determined it was written by one of J. Cole's engineers, not Cole himself. That means J. Cole's team was treating Kendrick's contributions like fragile museum pieces, too scared to even edit them, while simultaneously trying to build an entire album around them. That's the definition of dependency. That's knowing you can't carry the weight without someone else's shoulders.
Let's zoom out for a second, because this whole situation has family members, cousins, and distant relatives in hip-hop history. Remember 2018? Drake sneak-dropped Duppy Freestyle, going at Pusha T, then literally mailed photocopied invoices to Pusha's label for $100,000 as a flex. That stunt was cute at the time, but it birthed an entire playbook. It taught artists that you can control the narrative by weaponizing paperwork, by making business moves look like power moves. J. Cole clearly studied that footnote. He started quietly invoicing reactors and YouTubers for using snippets of unreleased Dreamville music in their videos. Small-time streamers with 20,000 subscribers suddenly getting emails asking for $4,000 in clearance fees for playing a 10-second snippet. That's not industry standard. That's micro-extortion dressed up as professionalism. Meanwhile, Dreamville's merch bundles got quietly exposed for counting vinyl pre-orders twice in their first-week sales numbers. SoundScan caught the discrepancy, adjusted the numbers without making a public announcement, and the situation got buried. No headlines, no accountability, just a quiet edit in the system. Add all that together, and you start seeing a pattern. A pattern of squeezing pennies out of passion. A pattern of using fans' love for the music as a financial tool rather than a relationship. Now, flip the coin. Kendrick's been reverse engineering his own hype since 2021. He's been intentionally leaking low-quality M4A files of throwaway verses onto LimeWire clones in torrent sites under fake titles. Why? To ghost test which bars age like wine and which bars feel stale 6 months later. The ones that survive Reddit roast sessions and Twitter critiques, those are the bars he vaults for final album cuts. That's next-level market research. Free, anonymous, and brutally honest. J. Cole tried the same tactic in 2022, but fans recognized his producer tags instantly. Moral of the story, if you're going to plagiarize the homework, at least white out the name at the top. And while we're diving into side stories, let's talk about Drake's self-surveillance system. He's been archiving his own Instagram captions in a private Google Doc since 2014. Every heartbreak mine, every sports analogy, every Caribbean flirtation, time-stamped and categorized. He literally control-C'd himself into a creative corner, because now fans cross-reference his new captions with old ones and catch self-plagiarism in real time. That's why you see him delete posts within 6 minutes of publishing them. That 6-minute window is what fans call the Drizzy half-life, the exact amount of time it takes for someone to screenshot, compare, and expose the recycled content. All three of these artists are trapped in their own metagames. All three of them are playing chess against themselves, but only Kendrick scheduled a public execution and actually followed through. There's also the issue of how streaming platforms are quietly evolving to police artist beef. Spotify and Apple Music both reportedly built AI sentiment detection tools that analyze WAV file waveforms for regression markers. If the algorithm detects anger, hostility, or violent language patterns, it automatically deprioritizes that song in playlist algorithms and buries it below clean versions and instrumental cuts. Translation: the machine is now refereeing rap battles. The code is deciding which diss tracks get heard and which ones get shadow banned into obscurity.
Fans are starting to feel it. Comment sections are full of people begging for no features, just raw bars, because we've all seen what happens when three gods try to share one Olympus. Lightning ricochets, mortals get charred, and the gods themselves realize too late that they should have stayed in their own heavens.
What we're watching isn't just celebrity gossip or tabloid filler. This is the structural implosion of the entire collaboration economy in hip-hop. 10 years ago, a joint album multiplied legacies. Watch the Throne, Bad Meets Evil, What a Time to Be Alive. Those projects elevated everyone involved. But now, one wrong publishing split, one perceived slight, one ego bruise, and the entire house of cards caves in. Labels are smelling blood in the water. They're rewriting 360 deals with what insiders are calling friendship clauses. If you feature an artist who's considered a rival or competitor, you forfeit first-week sales points. Rap is becoming NATO. One diss track triggers every clause in every contract, and suddenly you're locked out of your own money. Streaming platforms, as I mentioned, quietly built AI tools that detect beef sentiment in audio waveforms. If your song registers too much aggression, it gets buried in the algorithm. Playlists prioritize clean, advertiser-friendly content. That means the rawness, the realness, the emotion that made hip-hop powerful in the first place is being algorithmically neutered to protect profit margins. Fans are feeling it. They're commenting, "I miss when rap was dangerous," but the infrastructure of the industry has shifted. Danger doesn't monetize well. Controversy gets demonetized. Authenticity gets shadow banned. The bigger warning here is that online fame is now a leveraged asset. It's not just clout anymore, it's collateral. One lost collaboration can tank merchandise projections, which tanks tour guarantee offers, which tanks the mortgage on that 12-bedroom creative compound you bought in Calabasas. J. Cole is stuck because the fall-off was supposed to be his exit IPO. That album was supposed to set him up to retire at 45 and live off royalties. Without it, he's touring until he's 50 just to maintain the lifestyle he's built. Drake is exposed because his strategic alliance with Kendrick was his reputational hedge. It was his way of staying credible with core hip-hop fans while also chasing pop radio success. That hedge is gone. And Kendrick? He's the only one who diversified into myth. Myth doesn't need Spotify. Myth doesn't need features. Myth lives in syllables shouted by strangers in stadiums on the other side of the world. That's the cheat code nobody else can reverse engineer. When your truth is louder than your marketing budget, you win by default.
So where does this carousel actually stop spinning? Industry insiders are whispering that J. Cole might drop a surprise minimal EP sometime in early 2026. No features, no promo rollout, no interviews, just bars and beats, hoping the austerity reads as artistic repentance instead of commercial desperation. Drake, on the other hand, is allegedly locked in the studio remixing old Kanye West beats from the college dropout era, trying to chase nostalgia points because present tense relevance isn't hitting the way it used to. And Kendrick? Sources close to PG Lang, his creative company, say he's already filmed a 40-minute short film in Ghana with dialogue entirely in Twi and 0 subtitles. He's not running from the drama, he's transcending the language it even speaks. Meanwhile, those 4 buried songs are becoming NFT ghosts. Bootleggers are minting low-quality snippets on Polygon and Ethereum blockchains, selling them for 0.08 ETH a pop. Every single transaction is a middle finger to the publishers who erased the songs in the first place. Some of the leaked snippets even have fake 21 Savage verses spliced in using AI voice models. Fans swear it's real. Playlists pop up on Spotify under fake artist names. Algorithms get confused. The line between official release and fan-made fiction is dissolving in real time. We're approaching a future where the unreleased catalog is bigger, more valuable, and more culturally significant than the official one. Imagine this. Grammy Night, 2026. J. Cole walks up to accept an award. He starts his speech. Suddenly, the beat to Breadwinner's Son blasts from the venue's sound booth system. Somebody hacked the sound booth. He freezes mid-sentence.
Cameras cut to Kendrick Lamar in the audience, smirking, sipping water. Drake is somewhere in Dubai texting LOL in group chats. That's not fantasy. That's the inevitable conclusion when secrets become currency and loyalty becomes transactional. The only unanswered question left is whether these three will ever sit in the same room again. My personal bet? Only at a funeral. And even then, Kendrick will arrive late, leave early, and still somehow headline the eulogy without saying a single word.
Stay locked in because this story is still breathing. More leaks are cooking in hard drives across LA and Atlanta. Interns are sweating. Lawyers are rehearsing their no-comment speeches in the mirror. Labels are tightening NDAs so hard that studio janitors are signing contracts now. This is far from over. Drop your verdict in the comments below. Should those 4 songs stay buried, or does the culture deserve to hear them even if it completely humiliates the architects who built them? Do we owe transparency to the art, or do we owe privacy to the artists? Smash that like button, hammer that subscribe, ring the notification bell until it cracks, because the algorithm loves chaos and we are serving it raw, uncut, and unfiltered. Tweet me your wildest theory about what really happened in those studio sessions. I'm retweeting the most unhinged one tomorrow. Next video drops in 48 hours, and we're going deep on how Beyoncé's tour insurance policy quietly funded 2 separate divorce settlements that never made TMZ. Yeah, you heard me right. Until then, keep your headphones tight, your receipts tighter, and your expectations low, because the music industry is a beautiful disaster, and we're all just renting seats in the front row. The game isn't rigged, it's just written in pencil. And Kendrick Lamar brought the eraser, the sharpener, and a brand new notebook. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay skeptical, and remember, if it sounds too clean, somebody's hiding the dirt.